Well, good morning. This is Tom Padula from TomPadulaTV and Insegna Booksellers bringing you lesson 19 of the teaching of Italian, and the first step was doing a little traveling through the grammar, because that's the basis, they're the roots of the language. And without those, a language, it needs pratica. La pratica batte la grammatica. But today is a very important day for me because I'm finishing off with the verb, the subjunctive. So now after this and after next week, then we start with pratica straight away. But for the moment, we need to go through the grammar. So what have I done this week? I am actually revising my own work from lesson 1. And these lessons are now available. And I was able to put some up yesterday. So I'm up to lesson 18 on Insegna.com in the blog section, and also for history up to the last, the last lesson presentation. And Dante, I will finish on next week. I've got up to Canto 14, and I've also put up the first 2 lessons of French and Spanish. So doing quite well online, and there is a big presence. Now I will need, after I finish this, and I think after next week, I'll actually be trying to get some people to meet me so that we can have a human contact as well. And it'll be at the Federazione Lucana, and I've booked it for the 20th of March. So I'm hoping to get a few people, because I did a couple of, a couple of afternoons there, but it was very, very hot, and people didn't come. A couple of people came later, but they were more for the club. But there's nobody there. So now on the 20th, I want to have some people there so that we can discuss lingua e cultura, both the language and the cultures of Italian primarily, but also other cultures, and the implications those cultures have on us, and the way we should probably look at our philosophy, in terms of the way we live and the way we interact with each other. So it's important. So that's what, more or less that's the direction of the journey. Today I'm going to do the imperfect subjunctive. And of course, there are only 4 tenses there. There's the present, and the perfect in the past tense. Then there's the present, the imperfect tense, and then the pluperfect tense. And that's it. And these particular verbs are used in clauses. In other words, they cannot be part of a main sentence. So that's coming up too. So when we start lesson 21, it's not too far away, pratica and grammatica, then I have to bring in other elements of the grammar as we practice the language. So as we practice the language, we can look at other elements of grammar. And one of the first ones that I will do when we first touch on it, it'll be words, now, the noun and the article. And of course, the implications of the nouns in the singular and the plural, and the irregularities, but also in terms of the pronunciation. There are certain elements in the language, in the nouns, that are very technical. The one that comes to mind straight away is the diphthong and the hiatus. In other words, the vowels that when you combine the I and an A, you get one sound, ya. But when you then have E and O, E, O, it's E, O. It doesn't combine. So those are the things that we're going to look at. But once I've done these things, grammatically speaking, I won't go back. What I will do, I'll say, look, I want to show you exactly where have I put what I want to show you. You can do the same. In other words, you can get yourself one of these exercise books, and you go through. Okay, you go through number one, number two, number three, and you isolate what I've presented. You clean it up, because, you know, I speak about other things, a bit of philosophy, a bit of this and that, just to keep the conversation moving. But I always come back to what I'm doing. And that's important, to understand that we are coming back to what I'm doing as well. Welcome to Curtis L. Talman and Maria Jose Angelami Costanzo. Wonderful that you come on. Today is the imperfect subjunctive. And also I'll be doing a couple of songs that I will look at in terms of grammatically speaking from Italian. And of course then as part of that really there is the element of translation from Italian into English. So, and of course when I'm doing the imperfect subjunctive, I don't just stop at the Italian, I do the English as well. So it's a double banger really, because, you know, I'll show you now. But before I do, it's getting hot here and I need a bit of a drink. And we'll start with the imperfect subjunctive. Congiuntivo imperfetto in Italian of auxiliary verb essere, to be. To be or not to be, that is the question. But in this case, it's in the imperfect subjunctive. And do you remember what we said about the actual, you know, the actual verbs? Look at them. Okay, got the indicative mood and the compound tenses, and those are the tenses. And then I tempi in Italiano, and these are the ones we're doing now. We're doing the perfect tense and the pluperfect. So we're doing the pluperfect of the subjunctive. Okay, so here we go again. Here we go. Okay, now when you actually write the actual verb tense, you need to always put io, tu, lui, lei, noi, voi, loro. And in Italian there's also esso, essi, etc. So, but that's okay. But as long as you do these ones here, for Australia, that's fine. And in English, it's that sentence there that I might be. I actually was distracted when I was doing this by something else, and I put the English there, and then I put it down here as well. So, but this is the way it goes in Italian. Che io fossi, che tu fossi, che lui, lei fosse, che noi fossimo, che voi foste, che loro fossero. In English, that I might be, you might be, that he or she might be, that we might be, that you might be, that they might be. You don't get these clauses often in writing, but you do sometimes. So that's important. So that's the verb essere. And is the imperfect subjunctive. That's the present tense, basically. The imperfect tense, not the composite tense. Okay? Then there is the composite tense, which I will leave for now, and I'll do it straight afterwards. Now, the verb avere in the imperfect tense is che io avessi, che tu avessi, che lui, lei avesse, che noi avessimo, che voi aveste, che loro avessero. So in English is that I might have, that you might have, that he or she might have, that we might have, that you might have, that they might have. Now, some grammar books don't have the that in front. They just say, and they don't even have might have, say, they say it in the indicative, but it's really a subjunctive when they use it. And so therefore we've got to know the difference. So it sounds confusing, it's not. When we get to the practice, it'll be very simple. So that's the imperfect subjunctive of the verb avere, to have, which is another auxiliary verb. Then we go to the, of course, to the pluperfect, which I'm going to leave for the moment. And then I've got here the imperfect tense of the first conjugation verb, which is, in this case, lodare, parlare, camminare. But I only... Oh. I put them the other way around. Okay. This is the one. This is the one. This is the imperfect tense of lodare, parlare, camminare. Che io lodassi, che tu lodassi, che lui, lei lodasse, che noi lodassimo, che voi lodaste, che loro lodassero. And if you drop the IRE, and for the verb parlare is che io parlassi, che tu parlassi, che lui, lei parlasse, che noi parlassimo, che voi parlaste, che loro parlassero. And then the same thing with camminare. Che io camminassi, che tu camminasti, che egli camminasse, etc., etc. Okay? Imperfect subjunctive in English is for lodare is to praise, and the same thing. You replace praise with with talk or walk, and it's the same. Imperfect subjunctive is that I might have praise, that you might praise, that he or she might praise, that we might praise, that you might praise, that they might praise, and that is the imperfect subjunctive. Then there is the pluperfect, which I'm going to leave for soon after, and this is now conjunctive imperfect of the third conjugation verbs. Here they are. This is the second conjugation. What am I saying? Ere verbs. The ere verbs are credere, okay, ripetere, temere, and all the others, all the ones ending in ere. And it's like this: che io credessi, che tu credessi, che lui, lei credesse, che noi credessimo, che voi credeste, che loro credessero. And in English is that I might believe, that you might believe, that he or she might believe, that we might believe, that you might believe, that they might believe. 3 singular, 3 plurals. Okay, so that's that. That's for the second conjugation. And for the third conjugation is finissi, che io finissi. Notice that, finissi, che tu finissi, che lui, lei finisse, che noi finissimo, che voi finiste, che loro finissero. And in English is that I might finish, that he or she, that you might finish, that he or she might finish, that we might finish, that you might finish, that they might finish. So that's the imperfect subjunctive. And of course, then there's the pluperfect subjunctive. So the pluperfect subjunctive now, we'll do the ones from the verb essere. Now, the verb essere is a bit different from all the others, because the verb essere takes its own past participle, stato or stata, and because it's essere, then the past participle can be either masculine or feminine, singular and plural. So the pluperfect subjunctive is che io fossi stato, or che io fossi stata, depending on who you are, che tu fossi stato, che lui, lei fosse stato, che noi fossimo stati, che voi foste stati, che loro fossero stati. Whereas if you're a woman, then che io fossi stata, che tu fossi stata, che lui, lei fosse state, che noi fossimo state, che voi foste stati, che loro fossero state. Notice that stato changes into the 4 forms, the 4 possible forms of, masculine and feminine. And in English is that I might have been. So, strangely enough, for the pluperfect tense, the verb essere uses the verb avere as its own auxiliary. So that I might have been. So been is the past participle in English, but it uses to have. It's incredible, isn't it? Whereas the other one in Italian is che io fossi, che io avessi stato. It's wrong. It uses itself in Italian. In English, different. Take note that I might have been, that you might have been, that he or she might have been, that we might have been, that you might have been, that they might have been. Note well, whatever, I've mentioned that. And that was for the verb essere. Now we're getting here to the verb, I need some more water. Have a look. Che io avessi avuto. Notice. Che io avessi avuto, che tu avessi avuto, che lui, lei avesse avuto. So, the auxiliary verb to have uses itself to form the pluperfect. It uses the imperfect Subjunctive plus the past participle in Italian. Che io avessi avuto, che tu avessi avuto, che lui, lei avesse avuto, che noi avessimo avuto, che voi aveste avuto, che loro avessero avuto. And let's have a look in English. And in English it's the same. That I might have had, that you might have had, that he or she might have had, that we might have had, that you might have had, that they might have had. I challenge many people who have seen these verbs presented in this way in a classroom in Australia in modern times for the last 40, 50 years. But it's important to identify how it's done. Now this one here, preperfect subjunctive of the verb lodare, to praise. Now, and of course all of these use the avere verb in their regular forms, because then we've got essere comes into play when you have a passive form of the verb, which I will do next week. I will touch on next week. I will touch on the transitive and intransitive verbs and the passive and reflexive verbs. So that will be the last lesson in terms of putting the grammar first. Okay, so now let's go back. Che io avessi lodato, che tu avessi lodato, che lui avesse lodato, che noi avessimo lodato, che voi aveste lodato, che loro avessero lodato. Notice the past participle does not change for singular and plural, masculine and feminine. It's masculine all the way. In the singular. Important to know. Che loro avessero lodato, not che loro avessero lodati. Wrong. But if there is a pronoun before, there are a lot of other rules relating to the way these things can change. So nothing is written in concrete. Nothing is written in concrete. Here, pluperfect subjunctive in English, that I might have praised, that you might have praised, that he or she might have praised, that you might have praised, that they might have praised. And that's the first conjugation verb. The second conjugation verb, the same sort of principle. You put the ke in front. It's easier when you put the ke in front. It's easier to remember that it's not part of a main sentence. If you just put the io avessi creduto, that's what they do in some of the grammar books. And in the Italian grammar books generally, they put the ke in. So depending on where you went to school, which textbook you used, who were your professors, etc., etc. So there's changes too, according to not only the knowledge, but also the geography where that knowledge comes from. So, che io avessi creduto, che tu avessi creduto, che lui, lei avesse creduto, che noi avessimo creduto, che voi aveste creduto, che loro avessero creduto. And notice creduto does not change for singular and plural, masculine or feminine. Okay, so that's, and in English is pluperfect subjunctive is that I might have believed, that you might have believed, that he or she might have believed, that we might have believed, that you might have believed, that they might have believed. So that's the second conjugation, and dulcis in fundo, one of my friends used to say. The sweet part is in the end. In other words, we're coming to the end of it. This is the third conjugation of finire, to finish, che io avessi finito, che tu avessi finito, che lui lei avesse finito, che noi avessimo finito, che voi aveste finito, che loro avessero finito. So the subjunctive, perfect subjunctive in English is that I might have finished, that you might have finished, that he or she might have finished, that we might have finished, that you might have finished, that they might have finished. And if you're bored, I understand. But it's the end. And I'm not doing this again like this. So now this goes in the book. When I want to bring it up, I bring it up. I'll bring it up. So that's the advantage of presenting a technical part. In science, in science you've got to have the experiments, done in a particular way. In maths, you've got the formulas. They never change, but you have to learn them. Because if you don't know, I did maths at school. I did maths 1, maths 2, algebra, geometry, all that sort of stuff. And, you had to learn certain things, which now I have forgotten. But I bet you that if I pick it up again, I would remember, because I've done it before. So the important part of this, it might sound repetitious, but that's where we are at. We are at the repetitive stage of the learning of certain things in the language. And the fact that we do it in English, I speak in English now, so what? That's to communicate with the student, with the audience, in English. Some people say, we should do it in Italian. Well, they do it in Italian schools. They're in loco. Here in English, some teachers might still believe in a bit of grammar. We used to do it in grade 3, 4, 5 in Italy, and then year 7, 8, 9. But the Italian's primary school system only goes up to year 5. So there's the preschool, then there's 5 grades, 1 to 5. In Australia, we've got 1 to 6. But then in Italy, they've got the middle part is 1 and 3. Prima, seconda, terza media. They're called middle school. And then you got 5 years of the other one. So you pick up 3 plus 5 is 8. Here, you actually end up being a little bit more in Italy than here. But you can study the education system, how it works there, and how it works in Australia. Welcome to Antonio Danzi. Okay. Now, I just finished the perfect subjunctive of the auxiliary verbs essere and avere, and are, ere, and ire verbs. Now, it's 11:46. I've done it in a quarter of an hour today. Easy. But it doesn't matter, because now we can, if I go back here to the tenses, we've done them all. We've done all these. We've done the indicative mood, 8 tenses. The conditional mood, 2 tenses. Multiplied by 6. 6 indicative is 8 tenses, so it's 48. Conditional is 2. So you multiply that by 2, and you get 60. Subjunctive is 4. Multiplied by 6 is 24. 6, so 84. The gerund, the participle, and the infinitive, they've all got 2 parts each. Oh, I didn't count the imperative. The imperative is 5, because you can't command yourself. So that makes it 89. Gerund, participle, and infinitive have got two parts each. And if you learn those, there'll be 95 parts of the verb in the Italian conjugation system. That's it. Whether you learn it when you're 8 or 90, that's it. There's no more. So the quicker you learn it, the better it is. But more than just learning it, to identify it in the writing. And when we identify it in the writing, then it becomes easy. Then we've done these ones, right? We've done all of those. Then I said to you, we've done noun, article, adjective, pronoun, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and exclamation. And what did I say about these ones here? We've done all these, noun, article, adjective, pronoun, and verb. The pronoun had 8 types of pronouns. The verbs, 95 parts of speech. Then the adjectives got 3 different parts, the simple, the comparative, and the superlative. The article has got definite and indefinite. The noun has got masculine and singular, and feminine and masculine and feminine, singular and plural. Now, when I then pick up, hey, I'm going to do Belinda, a Gianni Morandi song. Okay, when you pick up Belinda, there you are. Okay, very famous song by him. Beautiful song. And also they use it in, sometimes they play it in the dances. And Antonio knows, because I go dancing, and he does too. Okay. Bella Belinda, è innamorata, parla da sola con l'insalata e non guarda il piatto ma la finestra, scende una lacrima nella minestra. Gioca col pane, bella Belinda, fa le palline con la mollica nel suo bicchiere, bella Belinda, lei vede i suoi occhi pieni d'amore. Now let's do those two. Bella Belinda. Belinda is a proper name. Okay, so Bella goes before the proper name. Bella Belinda, beautiful Belinda. È innamorata. She is, it's an auxiliary verb, essere. When there is essere there, the object, if you like, it's not really an object, it's Belinda innamorata. So innamorata has to agree with Belinda. Bella Belinda è innamorata. The innamorato, innamorare, is the verb, an IRE verb, first conjugation verb. So you get the past participle, which then it acts like an adjective. Bella Belinda è innamorata. Remember, Belinda, anything that refers to Belinda now is feminine. Parla, she speaks. There's no need to say she, lei parla. Or they could say Bella Belinda innamorata. Oh, lei parla da sola con l'insalata. You know, you could, in conversation, you could put the lei if you want. You want to stress that it's lei parla da sola, not her friend next to her. Lei parla da sola. So if there is somebody else there and you want to specify that it says she, and that's where the language then becomes, you know, when you analyze the language, that's where the changes occur. But in this case here, it's a plain. Parla da sola. Da sola. On her own. Da sola. After parla. That's an adverbial phrase, even though the da is a preposition. Con is a preposition. L'insalata è l'apostrophe, insalata. Whereas in the past, when con used to combine with the articles, you could almost get con l'insalata, C-O-L-L apostrophe. But you don't see that in modern Italian anymore. It's con l'insalata. They divide it up. But some people in speech say, quella con l'insalata, là, you know, con l'insalata. But it really is con l'insalata. And you have to know that. E non guarda. E, conjunction. One of the main conjunctions. So you can make a list. Conjunction. E. Put it down. Non guarda il piatto. Non. E non. Maybe that's a conjunction too. Conjunction. Non guarda. Non guarda, guarda, non. Guarda, non guarda. Non in this case could be an adverb. It refers to guarda. E non guarda. Ma lei non guarda. So that's, you know, you got to, there you can have a bit of a discussion there, and I got to look into it myself. Guarda e non guarda, che cosa non guarda? Il piatto. The plate. Il piatto is singular and it's masculine. I piatti is plural. Ma, that's a conjunction. Ma, conjunction. So you can write down, ma is a conjunction. From now on, every time you see an or a ma, they are conjunction. They don't change. So if you do this, then eventually you will use these in the proper place. Ma la finestra. La finestra. What is it? The window. Okay? Feminine word. A window is feminine, masculine. Come on. Not, there's got any sex, the window. But in Italian, there's no neuter. All words are masculine or feminine, depending on the way the ending of the verb, of the noun. Welcome to Colin Roundsley. Good to see you back. I've just done the imperfect subjunctive. You'll have to revise this after I finish. Ma la finestra, the plural of la finestra is le finestre. So, what did I say in one of the first lessons? Build up your valigia di parole. Your word bank. That's what you need to build up in Italian. Scende una lacrima. Scende come from scendere, second conjugation verb. Io scendo, tu scendi, lui scende. Lei scende. So scende una lacrima. Che cosa scende? Una lacrima. A tia. But it's not la lacrima, it's any old tear from your eyes. Scende una lacrima where does it fall? It falls in the minestra. A bit funny. Scende una lacrima nella finestra. Some people think that's funny. Where somebody else says, oh my God, poor girl, I'm not going to eat the minestra anymore. So, una lacrima nella minestra. Nella is a preposition, articulated preposition. Minestra is feminine. So, got finestra, minestra, insalata. Bella, bionda, Belinda, parla, guarda. Apart from scende, everything else ends in a. So, Bella Belinda è innamorata, she's in love. Parla da sola, she speaks on her own, con l'insalata, with her salad. E non guarda il piatto, she's not looking at the plate, ma la finestra, but the window. She's obviously not concentrating on the eating. Scende una lacrima, or she's thinking of him over there somewhere. Where is he now? And so she's trying to cry. Nella minestra, what did he do that for? Is he going to come back to me? So that's Bella Belinda. Eh? So that's a good song. But look at how much we've done in terms of analysing it. Well, would you be able to do that? Have you ever attempted it? So let's go to the next one. Gioca col pane, Bella Belinda, fa le palline con la mollica, nel suo bicchiere, Bella Belinda, lei vede I suoi occhi pieni d'amore. There are lots of prepositions there. Gioca, from giocare, first conjugation verb. Lui, lei, gioca. Io gioco, tu giochi, lei gioca. So lei gioca, what with col pane. He could have said con il pane, because he did con l'insalata. But this time he's col pane. So that would be called, there is a writer, a songwriter, in looking at the musicality of the language. So col, it shouldn't be, that's an old way of saying con il pane. But he said col pane. And you have to know that col is not something else, it's con il pane. Bella Belinda, we've said that. Fa, from fare. Io faccio, tu fai, lui, lei fa. Now, that's an irregular verb. Like giocare, too. Io gioco, tu giochi. Giochi, in this case here, you'd have to spell it Giochi. Otherwise, you get giochi. And I have to explain that. That's where the phonetics come in. That after lesson 21, from lesson 21 onwards, you'll get that from me. So, fa le palline, she makes little balls. Palla, la palla is the ball. Pallina. Pallina is a small ball. Pallone is a big ball. A soccer ball. Ball. Pallina, pallone. But if you had a pallaccia, I never heard of pallaccia, but that accio means it's a bit nasty or whatever, you know. Palluccia. Palluccia is pretty, like pinuccia. You know, the Italians love to change the endings of the nouns. So, fa le palline con la mollica. La mollica is the breadcrumb. Con la. See, col pane, but con la mollica. Nel suo bicchiere, notice here, in the, a preposition. Suo bicchiere, it's her glass. Suo is an adjective. It's a possessive adjective. Suo bicchiere is singular, bicchiere. Nel suo bicchiere. Otherwise, it would have to be nei suoi bicchieri. So bicchiere, in this case here, that ends in e, you can work your way back and say it's a singular word. Bella Belinda. Lei vede, now in this case here, lei vede. Bella Belinda, she didn't say vede, because lei vede in this case here goes well with the pronunciation. Lei vede I suoi occhi, her eyes. Nel suo bicchiere, but I suoi. You know, so il suo, the plural of that is I suoi. You have to learn that. Occhi, eyes. Occhio is O-C-C-H-I-O. But it's not occhi with double I, it's one I. Again, that's an irregularity. Pieni d'amore, gli occhi pieni. Now, pieno doesn't refer to amore, refers to occhi. Therefore, it comes after occhi. I suoi, the possessive adjective here comes before the noun, and pieno, it's an adjective referring to, comes after. So where does the rule that Italian adjectives have to come always after the noun? It's not true. It is and it isn't. And that's what I said, that the language as a science is imprecise. It's got flexibility. D'amore, amore starts with a vowel, di amore, of love. So gioca col pane bella Belinda, fa le palline con la mollica, nel suo bicchiere bella Belinda, lei vede I suoi occhi pieni d'amore. The translation, she plays with bread, bella Belinda, she makes little balls with the breadcrumbs. In her glass, bella Belinda, she sees her eyes full of love. Not bad. That's only due strofe. Welcome to Maria Failla and Marianne Cassino. We are analyzing the Bella Belinda song. And as I said before, I've started to revise my own lessons for when I start lesson 21, which will give pratica, number 1, and then grammatica attached to it. We'll do it more like this, but a bit faster, because then I'll bring in the elements of listen, speak, read, write. So the 4 parts of what we use language for. Okay, let's go on. E 1000 pensieri come farfalle, e 1000 carezze sui suoi capelli, e brividi dolci lungo le spalle, e più è innamorata e più si fa bella. Interesting part. È unica al mondo bella Belinda, scende le scale come volando, e da romanzo bella Belinda vive l'amore e salta il pranzo. So, we've done the first 2, let's have a look at this. E 1000 pensieri. Is, we said it's a conjunction. Am I going to repeat that as a conjunction again after, in this particular stanza? There's 4 of them in one after the other. There's no need for me. I have to accept the fact that you've understood that is a conjunction. But 1000 is 1,000. It's a number. And in this case here, it's an adjective. 1000 pensieri, many thoughts. Come, like farfalle, like farfalle. That like, what is it? Is it a preposition? Is it a conjunction? Is it an adverb? That's the question. Where's come? Because sometimes come is a conjunction. But in this case here, come farfalle, like butterflies. Well, it could be a conjunction. You'll have to look it up. Now, if I want to look it up, what do I do? What do I do? This is what I do. You remember I did all this, prepositions? Okay? Let's have a look. Conjunctions, here they are. And, or, but, that, for, if, as, when, because, since, while, as soon as. In Italiano, o, ma. And ma there up at the top. Ma, quello, per is a conjunction. But here, it's a preposition. But here it's used as a conjunction as well. Se, come is a conjunction. See that? Ma come could be quando, perché, da quando, mentre, non appena, dopo, la prima volta, come. Come again. As. Welcome to Antonio Carlos Zaccaria. I'm showing the conjunctions. Make a list of the conjunctions. The Italian conjunctions are e, o, ma, se, che, ne, pure, però, anzi, mentre, dunque, quando, come, ne e non. So we've established now that o, e, come is a conjunction. So, e 1000 pensieri come farfalle, like butterflies. Now, come le farfalle, you could say, but in this case here, because it's a song, the songwriter has got creative license to use the language the way he thinks that it will attach itself to the music. E 1000 pensieri come farfalle, e 1000 carezze, caresses, Again, like farfalle, carezze, not come mille le carezze. There's no article there. Sui suoi capelli, sui. Su is a preposition. Sui suoi, suoi is a possessive adjective in this case. Sui suoi, on her hair, sui suoi capelli, e brividi dolci, brividi. I'm not going to tell you that, brividi, because that's the song that won the Sanremo Song Festival in 2022. Brividi. It's unbelievable. Brividi, what are they? Brividi, what are they? Look it up. Are you having brividi because I can't remember now? Maybe you are. E brividi dolci, sweet brividi. They're not the nasty ones. They are brividi dolci. They are feeling like your skin is moving. Brividi. Come on, tell me the English word. When you got two languages. That's what this is where Professor Google comes in. You put brividi in, and it gives you the answer. You can do that because you're not doing the lesson I am. And, you know, sometimes I don't want to give you all the answers either. E brividi dolci lungo le spalle. So this brividi, sweet brividi, along her shoulders, the back, along her back, brividi. Brividi. I might just, you know something? I think that I also have here, I'm going to look it up for you. Okay. So we got, I went to Chrome. Here. See here? Let's have a look. See? You got, no, we don't want to explore. Here, come on. No. Unbelievable. Here we are. We want Google, not Google Maps. We want Chrome. There we are. See that, Chrome? And tap to unmute. Now we don't want that. We don't want YouTube. We want Chrome. Okay, how to draw there, see? Yep. Come on. Oh, I don't know. This thing here. I'm trying to do too many things. Now it's not working. The battery must have gone. Doesn't matter. The thing is brividi. Brividi dolci. Let's go. Brividi dolci lungo le spalle. So you have to, when you're making mistakes like this, you're trying to use, you're trying to use the other technology. You do a number of things. It looks like messy, but life sometimes is messy. Learning is messy, and you have to accept the fact that you have to make those mistakes. You try to avoid them. And then you say, when you present yourself to other people and you want to look good, of course you won't show them the mistakes. But if you're confident like me, I don't care. Because I've got the confidence in me that I can overcome that. So when I sing and people criticize me for that, sure, but I have my intention is not to entertain, it's to educate. There's a bit of a difference. E mille pensieri, okay, so è più è innamorata, this is interesting, and more she's è più è innamorata, and more she's in love, e più and more she becomes beautiful. È unica al mondo, she's unique in the world, Bella Belinda. Scende le scale, she comes down the stairs, come volando, and remember come is a conjunction. As if she was flying. It is, da romanzo, like in a novel, Bella Belinda. Vive, she lives love. E salta il pranzo, and jumps and gives away her meal. And then there's music, Belinda, Belinda, Belinda. So let's have a look at now how we go with just let's have a look. Practice it. Bella Belinda è innamorata, parla da sola con l'insalata e non guarda il piatto ma la finestra, scende una lacrima nella minestra, gioca col pane, bella Belinda, fa le palline con la mollica, nel suo bicchiere, bella Belinda, lei vede i suoi occhi pieni d'amore e mille pensieri come farfalle e mille canzoni sui suoi capelli e brividi dolci lungo le spalle e più è innamorata e più si fa bella è unica al mondo, bella Belinda, scende le scale come volando e da romanzo, bella Belinda, vive l'amore e salta il pranzo, etc., etc. What have you noticed? That the pronunciation was okay, the intonation, yeah, but my voice is strained. And some parts, so when you've got the music, they've got an orchestra as well, it covers up a lot of these things. And, you know, if you're fresh and you go on stage, you're in full force of your voice. You can practice. Orietta Berti ate chilies before she went on stage. A raw chili, because she said, my voice improves. So there you are. You can, you know, look at what happens to a song. Bella Belinda, that's a real, there's a lot of sentences there that you can use yourself. Mille pensieri, come farfalle. Io ho mille pensieri. I have 1,000. Io vedo le farfalle. Io mi pettino i capelli. Eccetera, eccetera. Mangio il pranzo, faccio il pranzo, salto il pranzo. And that's Bella Belinda doing very well there, but that's not generally a song. There's sort of two lots to the song with a chorus in the middle. Or music. And the people who do with music, etc., they know it better than me. But they're not teaching now, are they? Okay. Now, Antonio Carlos Zaccaria, welcome. You too. Fantastic. Now, we're doing Bella Belinda. We're looking at... let's have a look some more. Okay? So we're looking at all the parts of speech here, as many as we can identify. E mille pensieri come farfalle, mille carezze sui suoi capelli e brividi dolci lungo le spalle, più innamorata e più si fa bella. So that the second stanza there, it's like the one that I explained. But this one here, è quando fa notte, and when it's night, Bella Belinda, si copre tutto, she covers, tutta, fino ai capelli, up to her hair, she covers herself, presumably to go out. Puts on a coat. No, non è il vento. No, it's not the wind, Bella Belinda. Sono i sospiri di chi ti pensa. They are the sighs of who thinks of you. Ooh, we haven't met that person. E quando fa notte. And quando fa notte. Quando in this case, is it a preposition? Is it an adverb? Is it a conjunction? And again, quando, you can look it up. I've got it here as a conjunction as well. There it is, quando, under conjunction. I made a list. There you are, quando, conjunction. E quando fa notte, when it's night, Bella Belinda, si copre. Coprirsi is an intransitive verb, si copre. There's no object. Si copre, she covers herself. It's a reflexive verb actually. Si copre. Lei si copre. It's a reflection. That's the one we're going to do next week. Okay? Tutta. Copre tutta. Now, tutta, she covers herself all. That tutta refers to lei, but it's after the verb. So, how can it be an adjective? But it is. And that's where you have to study, because it's not the the tutto or tutta doesn't refer to copre. Oh, yes, it does. So it could be an adverb. It is an adverb. We can have a conversation about it. So if you list the adverbs as you move along, you get the same thing. Now, where are these adverbs? Where are the adverbs? Prepositions, 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 enumeri. Let's have a look. Level. Conjunctions, no. They must be further up. Where are the adverbs? Eh? The advantage of writing it down and then looking for them. Where are they? Come on. Enumeri, prepositions. Well, can I find them? Conjunctions, exclamations. No, but I had them here before. Where are you? Mannaggia. Here they are. Adverbs of time. Adverbs. Today, yesterday, tomorrow, soon, already. That's in English, which I didn't translate. So I got to go back to that and fill it up. And here they are. Adverbs of manner. Well, badly, together, quickly. So you're making a list. And I will give you the list eventually for these. Okay? So you get the list of the adverbs. So you know when it's an adverb and when it's a conjunction. The 4 invariable parts of speech, easy. They have to be learned. And they never change. So if you can identify what they are, you can use them in a proper manner eventually. Maybe if you use the language all the time, you don't need all these explanations. But don't forget, I want you to become a mechanic of the language. You're the one who corrects other people. So when you correct other people, you have to learn how to do it. And you have to do the corrections. You've got to put them in the right. So there's a lot involved in all this. But if you've got the passion for the language, and then you want to use the language professionally, you have to learn it. It's a simple thing. Ok, si copre tutto fino a capire. No, non è il vento. No, it's not the wind. Sono I sospiri. They are the sighs of he who thinks of you. Sono I sospiri di chi. That di chi is a pronoun of someone that thinks of you. Ti pensa. E ti pensa, that's pensa te. Or pensa a te. But if it's a te, it's an indirect object pronoun. And if you put ti pensa, if you use a composite tense, you have to say ti ha pensato. But if you are feminine, you have to say ti ha pensata. And that's where, the grammar comes in. Ok, e mille pensieri, we've done that one. E bella Belinda innamorata, parla del sole con l'insalata, non guardi il piatto ma la finestra. We've done Bella Belinda. Now, look it up on YouTube. And really, I've got here, isn't it amazing? You're just giving me an idea. I can actually access the song next time. I'll actually play the original songs. I can do that now too. Wow, amazing. Okay. So you can see that as we move along, we get ideas on how to improve this. For example, if you come in on Fridays now, I'm teaching French and Spanish, which I have never done Spanish before. And I'm going to sing some songs in Spanish. I've never done it before. But some of the singers sing it. And they, for example, La Gioventù, an Italian would say La Juventud in La Juventud in Spanish, La Juventud. So you learn how to pronounce those consonants. Interesting. Now, that was Bella Belinda. Let me get one now, another song that we're going to do together. Because I don't know whether to do a long one. Roberta. maybe Roberta, because Belinda, let's do Peppino di Capri this time. Okay, we'll do Peppino di Capri. This one I will sing before, I will sing it for you first and then we'll do it, all right? Yeah, I will sing it. You want to know the words? Here they are. Lo sai, non è vero che non ti voglio più. Lo so, non mi credi, non hai fiducia in me. Roberta, ascoltami, ritorna ancora, ti prego, con te ogni istante era felicità, ma io non capivo, non t'ho saputo amar. Roberta, perdonami, ritorna ancora vicino a me. Roberta, ascoltami, ritorna ancora, ti prego, con te ogni istante era felicità, ma io non capivo, non t'ho saputo amar. Ascoltami, perdonami, ritorna ancora vicino a me. Vicino. Now this song here, Peppino di Capri sold hundreds of thousands of records with this song here, and he sang it in front of thousands of people. It's a simple, one simple song. Think about it. Some people write encyclopedias and they don't get the accolades that some of the singers, but then he's a very good pianist, very good musician, a very good all-rounder, entertainer, and there you are. And that's the trick. The trick is to do things, and to do things alla grande. But not everyone has that opportunity, especially, you got to have some success early in life in order for you to build on it. But if you don't have the goods, you won't last long. Peppino di Capri's got the goods. He's written quite a few of them, beautiful songs, but the music that he plays is just magnificent. Really, really good. And if you go to Google and you pick up Peppino di Capri, you can really enjoy some of his songs. He's really a very good and worthwhile singer. And if you learn the words, well, let's have a look. Lo sai. Do you know it? Io so, tu sai, lui, lei sa. Noi sappiamo, voi sapete, loro sanno. From sapere to know. Non è vero. Non, in this case, is a conjunction. È vero, it's not true. Adjective. Vero, it's after è. Could be an adverb. Che, another conjunction. Non, another conjunction. Ti voglio più, ti voglio più. I no longer want you. Lo so, io so, tu sai, lui, lei sa, noi sappiamo. Lo so, I know it, lo in this case is it. Non mi credi, non is a conjunction. Mi credi, credi, tu credi me, tu non mi credi. So this is direct object pronoun. Non mi credi. Non hai fiducia. You don't have any faith in me. In me. In me. In this case there, me is a pronoun. There's no name. In is a preposition. Roberta, they call her by name. Ascoltami. Listen to me. Ascoltare, but because it's an intransitive verb, ascoltami, ascolta me. Ritorna, you return. Ancora. Ancora is the adverb. Ti prego, I pray you. I urge you. Con te, with you. Ogni istante. ogni istante. It's almost an adverbial phrase. Every instant. With you. Era. Era is imperfect tense of the verb essere. Io ero, tu eri, lui, lei era. Era, it was felicità, happiness. Not la felicità, but felicità. Again, that, you could, era la felicità if you are talking it's like when you're writing. Yeah, when you're writing, era felicità, you're writing. Therefore, you're a songwriter. You don't want the la, you don't use it. That's okay, because then the music helps you. Ma io. Now, notice, ma io, but I. Huh? And then he repeats io non capivo. So that's an emphasis, to give emphasis to the verb. I did not understand. Non t'ho saputo, I did not know. T-O. O, I have not known. Ho saputo, that's a perfect tense. Non t'ho saputo amar o amare, to love. Non t'ho saputo amare. Amar, drop the E. Again, it's a poetic license. Roberta, perdonami, forgive me, come back to me once again. Come close to me, vicino a me. Roberta, ascoltami, ritorna ancora ti prego. Con te ogni istante era felicità, ma io non capivo, non t'ho saputo amare. Ascoltami, perdonami, ritorna ancora vicino a me, vicino a me, vicino a me. So this one here, this song here, is a short, plenty of music. And there in the middle, where I put music there, see? There's plenty of music. Because some of the musicians, see, you give the lyrics to someone who composes music, and that person there wants to put his own extra music. And they do. Some of the things have to wait in a couple of minutes before they can come back on. It's okay. What I'm saying is that's what happens. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I find I'm doing some lyrics for a local singer now. And one of the people who did the music for him sort of leaves him hanging there for, I'm not joking, 3-4 minutes. It's too much. You have to respect the lyrics of the songs. So that's Roberta. And this is enjoyable now because we're doing something really worthwhile. These are the two songs there for this week. So the thing that you should do for me is to look them up and maybe tell me when you're coming on. All of you are coming on, and I'm mentioning your names because you don't leave messages for me. You can say, I've heard Roberta. This is the first time that I've heard Roberta. I think that your explanation of the grammar is okay. I'm learning something. I'm doing the verbs. I want to participate in your success. But unless you communicate it to me, I will not know. And also I noticed with some other podcasts that people talk to each other. So you can make friends with the people who come on online because they see your name. Here I've got in front of me Antonio Danzi, Colin Ramsley, Maria Failla, Mariana Cassino, Antonio Carlos Zaccaria. And not everyone is from Melbourne either. So what I'm saying is that if you're learning the language, be great. But don't forget that the 20th of March at Federazione Lucana, 3 Cameron Street, Brunswick, I'm going to have a meeting with people who want to come and see me, and the title is Lingua e Cultura. And then I do whatever is necessary according to the people that are there. And what I would like to do is maybe introduce people to each other, but also to technology. Because there's a lot of technologies the world we live in today. It doesn't matter about the age. Don't think you're too old. You're never too old for anything. You always, just keep on learning. When you got to stop, you stop. That's the end. But at least you enjoy yourself to the end. On Thursday now, I will do the world history, and I will be doing the southern part of Africa from Paleolithic age and Neolithic age. So in other words, that too, you know, that series coming to a close, a first look at the world as a whole, from the Big Bang Theory, from the earliest of times to the Bronze Age. Thank you Maria Faila. Grazie Tom, mi piace il programma e ho cantato con lei. Benissimo, dici con te. Lei, non ti preoccupare di lei. Lei è formale, io non voglio essere formale, voglio essere a casa. Dici, ho cantato con te. I'm very approachable. It's not... the lei makes me feel uncomfortable, if you really must know. But, you know, the Italians love it, and some people love it. They don't say, how dare you, you know, what's this familiarity between us? When you come on to my programs, tu. Tom Padula is tu, non ti preoccupare. Okay, fantastic. I'm very happy that you like it. Grazie Maria, va bene. That's what I want. I want a bit of reaction in terms of what I'm doing, because Roberta and Belinda, two names of girls. Basically, one is from Gianni Morandi and the other one is from Peppino Di Capri, two great singers of Italy from the 60s, even the 50s. They go back that long. They're both, well, Peppino Di Capri is a great musician, whereas I think, I'm not sure about Gianni Morandi. I think he knows how to play the guitar to accompany himself, but he hasn't come out as a singer. He's more of a he's more of a singer than a musician. So that's fantastic. There are also a lot of others, and I've got the songs here, and I will analyze songs primarily, but after next week, I will do the I'll talk about reflexive and passive verbs and intransitive and transitive, and then after that I will go to pratica after next week. So in the meantime, you can access my work, as I said, even in Insegna.com, which is the booksellers place. You can look at the books at the Italian section, and the Spanish section, the French section. You can, you know, the covers of the books are great sources for building up your vocabulary. So you don't have to buy anything, just look at it and write down the words. So you build up your vocabulary bank. Okay, on that note, I've come to another lesson. Lesson 19 is finished. Grazie mille. Thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate the company, and if we have a conversation going, even better. Ciao from Tom Padula, TomPadulaTV on YouTube and Insegna Booksellers. Arrivederci. Alla prossima.